Hello. In this brief tutorial, I will be demonstrating how to create an interactive document using Google Slides. The first thing you'll do is go under the drive and click this icon to bring up Google Slides. And when I open Google Slides, it'll bring up a blank template for me. Now, I like to work from a blank document, so I can click this drop down and choose a variety of different formats, preset formats. But in this case, I'm going to make it blank because I want to create objects and put things in there. And so I'm going to go back and delete the top one, and here I have my overall layout. Now, if you're interested in something that can be printed without distortion, you can change the layout overall to an 8.5 by 11 standard sheet of paper simply by going to File, down to Page Setup, changing this to Custom, and then typing in your 8.5 by 11. When I apply that, I have my standard printer size paper. The reason I prefer Google Slides over Google Docs is because I found the applications for using shapes, arranging text, embedding images to be much more user-friendly in this format than what I found in Google Docs. So if I'm looking at creating, for instance, a Venn diagram with a summary box, or if I wanted to create a section for a quick write with instructions, maybe a Cornell Notes where I would have my questions or comment side, I'd have my body of notes here, and then at the bottom I might have a summary. Really, anything that you want to do with a general organizer, they're very easy to create here and have a ton of shapes to choose from. But in our case, we're going to replicate a See, Think, Wonder chart. So the first thing we'll do is we want to create a title. So here, this text box, we'll select it, and I'm just going to type in See, Think, Wonder. And here I will make this text larger. Maybe I want to change the font and make it bold and center this so that I have my overall outline for See, Think, Wonder. And then I want to create a table, which I found to be the most efficient way of doing that. So in this, I will need a 3x3 table here, or 3x2, excuse me. And I can arrange it however I think would be best. And here I have the basic outline of my See column, my Think column, my Wonder column. When I highlight all of them, I can choose to arrange it, center it in that cell. Maybe make it bold and increase the size. And so here's what I have. Now, I think it's also important to put spaces where you might want students to write. So if I wanted maybe a certain number of bullet points, I can preset the bullet point for them, the initial one, and they would know where to type into the document. The other thing I have found is I can create another text box, and maybe I need to provide written directions. I'm just, for the sake of time, going to type in directions and fill in the chart below. Of course, I can be much more explicit with these as we come through, and maybe I wanted to have a written summary at the bottom. Now, to do that, I would click maybe a shape. I could do a text box, but in this case, I want to create a shape, and the natural default for the shape will be shaded in. If I wanted it to be transparent, I could change that to a transparent setting, and then students would be able to write text. Again, I can arrange the text to be toward the top. If I wanted to thicken the border, I can change the border weight maybe to a 4, and I can do the same thing for the overall table. Maybe I want to identify that this here is going to be intended for a summary. So these are just a few quick applications for how you might be able to use and generate a document that is interactive for Google Slides. Now it's your turn.